am sitting with Chris Doyle from Liberty Home Mortgage. So thank you, Chris, for volunteering to join me and do this video.
Absolutely.
And so I like to just get the people informed, educated, let them always know what's going on in the market. I know you've been in this business, I'm not sure how long.
4.5 years now.
Okay,
Yes.
4.5
Right out of
years.
college.
Right.
Out of BW.
Right. BW fan here. My son's at BW, if you didn't know. So I wanted to sit down with Chris, and I always like to get perspectives from different leaders in this industry. And Chris is definitely a leader here with Liberty Home Mortgage. So what is your take? We've been on a wild ride, I feel like, in the real estate market, with mortgages, interest rates up and down, housing inventory low. And so what are you seeing?
So, Andrea, and again, thank you for having me on here and getting some of my perspective as a loan officer. So, what we've seen in the last 6 to 12 months, I mean, beginning of 2022, right, we saw, multiple offer situations, right? You go and list a home on Saturday, and by Saturday night, you have 20 offers, 10 cash going $30,000-$40,000 over. We're starting to see some pullback there nowadays.
Okay.
When you put a list on maybe a day or two, right? Maybe and then not as many multiple offer situations, right? Now couple that with today's market where you have relatively higher interest rates over the last 2 years. It makes purchasing a home a little bit more expensive. However, I think for the buyer, it's a huge benefit now not to be in those multiple offer situations. You achieve the American dream, get the home you want. You're not paying $30,000 to $40,000 over in a multiple offer situation, and you can always refinance. So get pre-approved, get into the home you love, and refinance. When the Federal Reserve reduces the overall interest rate.
Where do you see? Do you think rates are going to continue to increase, or have we kind of stabilized at this point?
I think it's difficult to try and interpret what the Federal Reserve wants to do. I think that at their Jackson Hole meeting that they had last Friday, that they definitely want to curb inflation as much as they can and get back down to a 2% target, which unfortunately that could mean that they would interpret that as increasing rates, right? But who knows, right?
Yeah.
It's all speculation.
Is there any tips that you can give any potential buyers that are out there in the market if they're kind of on the fence of what their next step should be?
100%. I say if you're on the fence to renting or purchasing a home, just get pre-approved, right? Get in touch with a real estate agent to help you with the MLS, the multiple listing service, to show you exactly what you want to purchase in a home. Because if you look from a apples to apples perspective, when you're renting versus buying, more often than not, purchasing a home is going to end up building you equity. It's a tax write-off. You write off your interest at the beginning of the year, and you're putting that money back into your own name instead of paying somebody else's mortgage, right? So even if you're on the fence, I 100% suggest just get pre-approved, get the financing out of the way, and if you don't end up finding anything, it didn't cost you anything.
Yeah. One last question about that, because what I always hear from folks, they're concerned that, if you pull my credit score, it's going to drop my score like 100 points is what they feel like. Is that the case?
No, it's not. So typically what we see is a 3 to 5 point reduction in terms of an overall score reduction, right? It's not like you're purchasing a car where you run your credit through multiple different lenders and everything. Plus, the Consumer Financial Protections Bureau protects your credit for 45 days from the initial hard inquiry. So, I mean, you could have a couple different lenders pull your credit within that time frame, Andrea, and you'd still be okay.
Okay. Well, there you have it. If you're thinking about buying a home, you don't need to wait. You just reach out to us to get the ball rolling. If you're still uncomfortable after listening to this, just call or schedule a phone consultation just so we can answer those questions for you. But don't be afraid. We're here to assist you.